Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch, Pallet, and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new, heat-treated, and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher Carpeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, apologies for the technical errors that have occurred here to start the show. We had a really rough start getting things going, but we are on the air now. A little unorthodox way of doing things, but we'll get it fixed up for the next stream. Currently 1-0 Frewsburg leads here in the second inning. 2 outs for CSP, and we have a runner on first, and there is currently 2 strikes and 2 balls in the account. Waiting from the pitch from Gruber. There it is. It's right down the middle and fouled off to the right side. Gruber resets now with a full count. Sorry, it's a 2-2 count. Anderson awaits the pitch. It's outside. That's ball 3. Now it is a full count. Anderson back in the box, full count. 1-0 Frewsburg here in the second. 2 outs, runner on first. Gruber checks the runner. Now he comes set. And there's the pitch. Hits down in the dirt. And Anderson will advance to first. That'll bring up Johnny Abers for the Pack. Johnny Abers going to have a word with his coach down the third base line before he takes his cuts. Gruber, pretty solid pitcher for Frewsburg, ready to go back at the Pack here as Johnny Abers steps in the box. The second baseman wears number 4. There's the first pitch right at him. He takes a cut at it. The pitch was a bit inside. He misses, and that'll be strike 1. Gruber comes set. Here's the shot. Abers fouls it off to the right side. Goes to 0-2 count now. So runners on first and second for Johnny Abers here with 2 outs and 2 strikes here in the second inning. Abers back in the box and Gruber ready to go. No time wasted, and he hits Abers with the pitch. So Abers will take his base, and the Pack has loaded him up for Trent Burchanowski, number 3, coming into the box for the Pack now. So a wild pitch there from Gruber hits Johnny Abers. He had Abers in an 0-2 count. And now we'll see what Burchanowski can do. His first at bat was a long drive to center field, fielded there by the center fielder about 15 feet or so from the fence. First pitch to Burchanowski, a little high. He takes a cut at it. That'll be strike 1. Here's the second pitch from Gruber. Burchanowski powers that one high and deep to right, way back and foul. So now it'll be an 0-2 count for Burchanowski, similar to what just happened to Abers in the previous at-bat. Burchanowski stepping back in the box now. Gruber wasting no time with bases loaded with 2 outs here in the second. Gruber comes set. There's the pitch down in the dirt, and Burchanowski will watch that one hit the dirt and give him ball 1 in this count. So it's a 1-2 count now for Burchanowski. Gruber comes set. There's the pitch, and that one's outside. It'll be a 2-2 count now for Burchanowski. So bases loaded for Trent Burchanowski, and he's trying to get something done here for the Wolfpack. Gruber in an uncharacteristic position, having the bases loaded on him in the second inning. There's the pitch, and it's going to be right on the corner. That'll strike out Burchanowski and end the side. The Wolfpack's rally comes up short, and it's still 1-0 after 1.5 here in Frewsburg.
Utegg's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this broadcast. Along with collision repair and refinishing, Utegg offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry. Utegg's Body Shop.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in New York at highschoolofficials.com.
Support for coverage of CSP baseball action on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream comes from JH Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa store stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Located at 955 North Center Street in Corry and NapaOnline.com.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Welcome back to Frewsburg, New York, where the CSP Wolfpack trail the Bears of Frewsburg 1-0 here in the bottom half of the second. The Wolfpack loaded the bases in the top half of the second, but were unable to bring any of the runners home. And now we will move to the bottom half of the second, and leading off for Frewsburg will be number 5. That's Beckstrom, the second baseman. Frewsburg brings up a lot of young talent this year. 3 freshmen starting in this lineup for them. Here's the first pitch from Katniss, and it's outside for ball 1. Katniss comes set, now he's ready to go again. Here's the pitch. That one's right over the plate. Big swing and a miss for Beckstrom, strike 1. 1-1 count now for Beckstrom. Here's Katniss. There's the pitch high and inside, and that'll be good for ball 2 as Beckstrom takes that pitch. So 1-0 here in the second. If you were late joining us, we had some technical difficulties. Had to switch to the backup camera, and apologies for that view. It's not the greatest. There's the pitch for Katniss, high and inside. That'll be ball 3. So a 3-1 count now for Beckstrom as Katniss has thrown him 3 straight inside balls. And Tate's ready to go again. The 3-1 pitch. And that one's right on the outside corner, but he's going to get called the ball by the umpire. And it will walk Beckstrom to first. Up next for the Bears, number 3, that's a Mazurko. Sorry, that's Mazurko. I couldn't read my own writing. Mazurko's the right fielder. And he'll come up now to hit. A little conversation on the mound with Tate, trying to make sure that he is comfortable out there. And, you know, the Wolfpack, it is a cold day. It's their first chance to get out here and play this league game against Frewsburg. You don't want to get buried here early, so you let a runner on, have a quick conversation about it. Everything seems to have gone well out there in that conversation. Max White back behind the plate, and stepping back in is Mazurko. Mazurko, the right fielder, ready to take some cuts here. Katniss ready to pitch. There's the first pitch, and it's hit straight towards the shortstop. Fielded up in the air. That's an out. And quick play there. Fielded in the air by Cheesley. Oh, sorry. By Burchanowski. Burchanowski makes the play for the Wolfpack. And that leaves number 21, the hitter for the Bears. That's Lacrosse. He's a freshman, third baseman. Big framed hitter here, hitting in the 7th spot. 1-0 Frewsburg here in the second inning. 1 out, 1 on. Katniss to pitch. First pitch to the lefty. And it's hit right back at him. Katniss fields. He's going to throw to second. It's caught. 1 out there, and they get it to first. Is it in time? Yes, the double play for the Pack. And they'll get out of the second with no damage done. Score 1-0 Frewsburg. Right now we'll go to a word from our sponsors.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating, oil, and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Financial support for this broadcast of CSP Baseball Play-by-Play on Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Stone Audiology at 709 East Columbus Avenue in Corry. Also in Bradford, Northeast, and Kane, Pennsylvania. In Jamestown, Olean, Belmont, and Chaffee, New York. Phone 814-664-7070. Online at stoneaudiology.com.
CSP Wolfpack Baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Troyer's Greenhouse, now open for the season Monday through Saturday. Troyer's Greenhouse is located at 1669 Weeks Road, just 2 miles west of Panama. Go Wolfpack from Troyer's Greenhouse.
Coverage of Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Whiteland Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Phone 716-499-8410. Find them online at mwhitepls.com. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Whiteland Surveying for their support.
Welcome back to the CSP Frewsburg game here. Top of the third inning. Wolfpack about to get it going with Bryce Hinsdale. And Gruber on the mound for Frewsburg, their very talented pitcher. He comes set. There's his pitch. It's inside to Hinsdale. It'll be ball one. Bryce very patient on that pitch, as that's one that a lot of guys would want to chase right there. Here's the next pitch from Gruber. That one's high, and it'll be ball two. Gruber's struggling a little bit in the cold here with the command. He walked a couple batters in the last inning, and now he's behind 2-0 to Hinsdale. There's the pitch right down the middle. Hinsdale falls it off to the left side. He'll step out, and a 2-1 count when the ball is returned to play. Taking a look at the CCAA Division II, Brockton 1-0, CSP Frewsburg 0-1, and no one else has yet to play a game in the division. Gruber's pitch caught the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. Hinsdale back in the box now. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch right down the middle, and he fouls it up over my head, and they'll run it back again. CSP's lost to Salamanca. Salamanca off to a very quick 4-0 start. A lot of folks didn't expect Salamanca to be this hot, especially after losing their star senior pitcher last season. Hinsdale fouls it off to the left side. The count will stay the same, 2-2. It is 1-0 Bears here in the top of the third inning. Wolfpack have a few chances. They had the bases loaded in the second, unable to yield any runs with a runner thrown out at third and then a strikeout to end the inning. Here's the pitch from Gruber inside, and it's taken there by Hinsdale to load the count. Full count now for Hinsdale. Gruber comes set. Here's the pitch, and it's way inside, and he'll walk Hinsdale. That'll bring up Tate Catnees. Tate's first at bat was a ground out. He grounded out to the second baseman in his first at bat. Gruber, a quick word with his catcher. His catcher today is Ekman. Ekman back behind the plate. Gruber seems ready to go. Hinsdale with a nice lead off first. Catnees in the box, and here we go. Gruber checks Hinsdale. Now he'll fire to Catnees low and inside. That'll be ball one. Another healthy lead for Bryce Hinsdale at first. Gruber checks him and he fires. And Catnees, one right back up the center, misplayed by the shortstop. It's going to get through to the outfield, and that will be an error there that's going to put Catnees on first base. And it's going to go down as an E6. That advances Hinsdale to second and brings up the number 4 hitter, Michael Spiesman. Spiesman wearing 13. He is three-sport athlete for CSP, playing football, basketball, and now baseball. And he is now in the box, ready with 2 runners on and no outs here in the third. First pitch right over the plate. He fouls it back right at me, and he'll step out to recollect himself. Gruber's ready. Spiesman back in the box. Gruber checking the runners. It's Hinsdale with the lead run. There's the pitch outside. Spiesman takes a big cut at it and comes up short. Strike 2 for Michael Spiesman. So an 0-2 count for him now. Spiesman back in the box. Runners on first and second. No outs here in the third. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Gruber. He keeps checking Hinsdale. Now he fires inside, and that'll be ball 1 for Spiesman. Hinsdale continues to take very healthy leads. He's at second and just taking just a little bit further than the shortstop, and it's causing Gruber to have to check him repeatedly. Gruber's 1-2 pitch. Spiesman fouls it off. It may stay in play. It's going to be right down the right field line. Right fielder tracking it, and he's going to catch it in foul territory, run into the fence, and fire the ball back in. And during that time, Bryce Hinsdale did tag up and move to third, so runners on the corner on the fly out by Andrew Spiesman. That's going to bring up Max White, the catcher. And that catch by the outfielder, he ran into the foul fence all the way over on the right side, making that catch. That's Mazurko. Mazurko made that catch. A really, really strong catch way over there and ran into the fence to pay for it. Runners on the corners. Gerber sets now. The new batter is Max White. There's the pitch. White hammers one on the right side down on the ground. It's a foul ball. Count goes to 0-1 with one out here with runners on the corners. White has an opportunity to try to tie this thing up for the Wolfpack. Max back in the box now. And watching Hinsdale on third, it looks like he may attempt a steal. There's a steal going on at second base, and it's Catney's in there, and he gets there safely. They cut off the throw attempt from the catcher, thinking that it was a setup for Hinsdale to try to steal home. Hinsdale never went. He stayed at third. So now the runners at second and third with a 1-1 count for Max White. That opens up first base for Gruber. We'll see if he needs to use it for Max. Pitch is going to catch the inside corner, and it's going to run the count to 1-2 on Max White. One out, runners on second and third. Gruber checking the runners. Now he's going to fire. White takes a big cut at an outside pitch, and that'll strike him out. So with White going down, that'll bring up Isaiah Burkholder with 2 outs here in the third. Runners on second and third. And Burkholder in a big spot here. He's going to try to get one of these runners home for the Wolfpack. Gruber watching a runner at second who's boxed in by a runner at third doesn't seem exactly logical to me. First pitch is a strike as Burkholder took a swing at the one in the dirt. So 0-1 now. If you watch Gruber's, he's checking the runner at second instead of the runner at third. And maybe that's intentional to try to get Hinsdale to move. And now Hinsdale's going to go for home. No, he's going to back off. A wild pitch there almost got Hinsdale home. He got about halfway down the baseline before turning back. And Catney's was actually almost all the way to third. Realized that Bryce turned back and had to turn back himself, and luckily makes it back to second for the Wolfpack. So no harm done there, a 1-1 count to Burkholder, and Gruber back on the mound. Gruber's pitch, and that one's right down Main Street, strike 2 on Burkholder. 1-2 now for Isaiah Burkholder. Gruber checks his runners. There's the pitch, and he strikes out Burkholder, and that will end the inning. Wolfpack unable to bring home those runners. Once again, we'll take a word from our sponsors.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
When the game is on the line, championship teams know the game plan. They communicate and work together to win. We all need a game plan to protect ourselves online. Talk to family and friends so they know how to stay safe too. Create strong passwords, turn on multi-factor authentication, update software, and recognize and report phishing, because online safety is not something you want to fumble. Get more game-winning tips at cisa.gov/secure-our-world. Then share them with family and friends.
Support for CSP Wolfpack baseball coverage is provided in part by Tina Dills, ERA Team VP licensed real estate agent, serving the Wolfpack listening area in all of Chautauqua County with real estate services for buyers, sellers, vacation rentals, and all relocation needs. For more information on how to get your move going, Tina can be reached at 716-397-7790. Tina Dills and the ERA Team VP agents wish the Wolfpack the best of luck.
Corry's only locally operated radio station is Channel 98.9. With your eerie weather, your favorite personalities.
Thank you so much for joining us on a Monday.
You see today local news, entertainment, and information around the clock. And Corry's modern rock. Channel 98.9, your one radio station.
Welcome back to Frewsburg, New York, where the Wolfpack trail the Bears 1-0 in the bottom of the third inning as we're getting ready for the bottom of the third to begin here in Frewsburg. And they'll be led off by the bottom of their lineup. That's Weaver, the left fielder, who will be leading off. That's number 19. As the Wolfpack finish getting ready, and Weaver will head towards the box here to get the bottom of the third started. So far, the Wolfpack has been a story of not being able to finish what they get started, as they had the bases loaded in the second and runners on second and third in the third, and were unable to come away with any runs from either of those situations. The Bears eked one out in the first and haven't done anything since. We'll see if the third is the same for them or if they can get their offense started once again. Catney is hoping to shut them down here in the third as well. And we're ready for the at-bat for Weaver. He steps in the box to face Catney's. Catney's first pitch, a little high and outside for ball one. Nice crowd for this cold baseball game today. Catney's fires, and it's high and outside for ball two. Way more people at this game than I would have expected for a 42-degree baseball game. Catney's fires again. This one's fouled off to the right side. Giving chase was Hinsdale. It's going to be too far foul to chase down. So that foul ball will make it 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch from Catney's and catches the outside corner to make it 2-2. Catney shakes off the first sign. Now he seems okay with this one. He winds and fires, and it's a nice low pitch fouled off to the left side. Count will stay the same, 2-2. I believe that was Catney's sinker there that dropped off and almost beautifully caught the batter unaware. Weaver trying to battle here, 2-2 count. Catney's pitch, high and inside. Weaver swings, he misses. Loose though, there's the shot from the catcher. And Weaver blocks the ball from coming into first, and he will be safe at first on the drop, strike three. So with Weaver safe at first, we'll bring up leadoff hitter Haglin. An interesting situation there where you have a young catcher in Max White trying to throw down a runner at first, and the runner kind of knew where Max was at and put his body in between him and the first baseman. Catney's will try to dig out of this early gap, having a runner on first. Here's the first pitch down in the dirt. White checks the runner and then goes back to Catney's. It's 0-1. Haglin back in now. Awaiting the pitch from Catney's. Kenny's pitch right down Main Street. Hagelin gets a piece of it out to right center. It's going to roll quite a ways before they field it. Hagelin on his way to second. The ball coming in. They'll hold the runner at third. Hagelin's doubled. Advances Weaver to third. And the Bears are cooking here in the third. That'll bring up at catcher Ekman. With runners on second and third, no outs here in the bottom of the third. Wolfpack making some defensive adjustments to prepare for Ekman's at-bat. Shifting the infield in and shifting the outfield to the left. Cadney's checks his runners. Here's the first pitch, low and outside for ball one. Mason White, the young freshman catcher, trying to make sure he has his eyes on both these runners as well, so he's in a good position to help out. Cadney's ready to go. There's the pitch outside. White fields it cleanly, and it'll be ball number two. Both pitchers struggling with some control in this cold. Hard to blame them. Real fuel right now is down around 38 degrees. And Cadney steps off. Both runners had healthy leads, and he just wasn't really happy with what he saw. Actually, didn't want the baseball anymore, didn't like the feel of it. Tossed it over to the Frewsburg dugout, and we'll take a different one from the umpire. So we'll set it all up again for the 2-0 pitch. There it is, and he thought he caught the corner, but the umpire says no, it's 3-0. 3-0 now with no outs and a 1-0 lead with runners on second and third. Cadney's fires. That one's over the plate and hit back up the center. Gets past Birchanowski out to center field. That'll score one. That'll score two. And the 2 RBI single by Ekman stretches out this Frewsburg lead
Tensions is definitely rising.
to 3-0.
Teed up right now.
Sheasley will be the next batter with Ekman on first. And that time the shift bit the Wolfpack as they had shifted the infield in and everybody to the left. And that means that there was nobody there to stop that hit back up the middle between the pitcher and the shortstop. Shift off here. Back to a normal defensive formation for Sheasley, the shortstop. Cadney's is ready and fires, and it's over Sheasley's head. White fires down to first, but not in time to catch Ekman. Cadney is now ready to fire. There's the pitch, and it's outside for ball two. Sheasley back in the box now. Runner at first takes a healthy lead. That's Ekman. Cadney's now set. The 2-0 pitch is low. Bounces loose. The runner's going to run for second. White has no play, and he'll eat it as the runner advances to second on that wild pitch. And it's now 3-0 count. Time for Max White's equipment as he's adjusting his glove and take Cadney's an opportunity to kind of calm down a little bit after an eventful bottom of the third here. 3-0 Bears. A 3-0 pitch from Cadney's is high, and he will walk Sheasley. And that'll bring up Peterson, the center fielder. Peterson's a senior on this team, number 16. And he will step into the box here in just a moment with runners on first and second with a 3-0 lead and no outs here in the bottom of the third. Tate Cadney's trying to reel this thing back in here in the third inning. Tate's first pitch, and it's hit back towards first base. Fielded there, they're going to throw to second. The throw is in time, but they're only going to get the one out at second. And so that'll be Sheasley who's out. And that's going to be a fielder's choice. Ekman advanced to third on that play, and that'll bring up Gruber, the pitcher, number 14. Max White asking Tate Katniss for something specifically, and Tate agreed with him. We'll see what that sign means here in just a moment. One out, 3-0 lead, runners on the corners for Frewsburg, and Gruber at the plate. Katniss comes set. There's the pitch. It's outside. They give White an opportunity to throw to second, but he just decides not to. Checks the runner at third, and it'll be a 1-0 count for Gruber. Wolfpack making sure everybody's in the right position. There's the pitch, and that one's a strike. So a 1-1 count now with runners on second and third with one out here in the third. 3-0 Bears. Katniss trying to fight his way out of this tough bottom of the third. Katniss' throw catches the corner. Really nice pitch there from Tate. And the count goes to 1-2. Katniss tries to catch that corner again. He misses this time for a ball. Real close to catching that bottom outside corner once again. So the count is 2-2. Katniss' pitch outside and high is going to run the count full for Gruber, the pitcher. So Gruber will step back in the box now with runners on second and third. Full count, one out here in the third, 3-0 Frewsburg. Katniss comes set. There's the pitch. That one gets between Max White's legs. There's the throw back to Katniss at the plate. He can't field it in time. The runner is safe. And Gruber is going to stay at first. He's not going to try for second, even though the ball was on the ground. So that'll score a run for the Bears. Gruber will go to first. And that'll bring up Beckstrom, the second baseman, number 5 for the Bears with a 4-0 lead. Runners on the corners and one out here. And that's the second batter for the Bears this inning to reach base on a drop strike 3. Max White had to dig that one out of the dirt, and by the time he was able to find it, it was already a runner at the plate, and they tried to make the play at the plate. Katniss fires, gets the corner for strike 1. The runner at first does advance. That's Gruber. He'll reach second on a stolen base. And it's 0-1 to Beckstrom here with one out. Waiting for Katniss. Katniss' pitch catches the outside corner for strike 2. So now an 0-2 count for Beckstrom. Batter calls time. And here we go. Hinsdale checks the runner at third. There's the pitch, and he hits the batter. He hits Beckstrom. And with that, that loads the bases up for Mazurko. Number 3, Mazurko plays right field. He made that really nice catch where he bounced off the foul fence out there in right after making the catch. and held on to the baseball. Here comes the pitch from Katniss, and fouled straight back by Mazurko. He'll be behind 0-1 now. Bases loaded here in the bottom of the third. 1 out, 0-1 count for Mazurko. Cole Mazurko waits for the pitch. There it is. Katniss' pitch is high. White snags it, but it gets past him. Back to the backstop. Runner's going to score. And both runners advance on the wild pitch from Tate Katniss. So that wild pitch makes the score 5-0 Bears. And a 1-1 count. Mazurko with runners on second and third. Katniss' pitch fouled back by Mazurko. And the count will go to 1-2. Katniss now ready to throw. Here's the pitch. It's outside. White knocks it down. And that one almost got away from him as well. No harm, no foul. Runners could not advance after White was able to pin the ball. So that'll take the count to 2-2 from Mazurko. There's the pitch. A nice one right down the middle. Swung on and missed. And Mazurko goes down swinging. Strikeout. And that's the first strikeout of the game for Tate Katniss. Now there's 2 outs here in this very tough bottom of the third. That brings up number 21, Riley Lacrosse, the third baseman. Lacrosse steps in. The lefty waiting for the pitch. It's inside, and that'll be ball 1. Runners on second and third. 1-0 pitch from Katniss is incoming. Inside again, and that one will be a strike. Caught the corner, did Katniss with that pitch. Lacrosse, the freshman. There's the pitch from Katniss, a big swing and a miss from Lacrosse. And the count goes to 1-2 here with 2 outs. 5-0 is the score, and Katniss would like to get out of this thing without any more damage. The 1-2 to Lacrosse. He swings on it right back up the middle, fielded by the second baseman. He fires to first in time, and that will be the inning as Hinsdale's sure hands snatch that one. And the Wolfpack escape this very tough third inning. Score 5-0 Frewsburg. We'll be back after this word from our sponsors.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane Climber. Family-owned Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Support for Wolfpack baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided by Countertop Solutions in Clymer. Go Wolfpack from Countertop Solutions.
CSP baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Steve Daniels Electric and Flicks Heating and Plumbing and Air Conditioning, located at 147 East Main Street in Corry. They offer residential and light commercial new services, as well as electrical repairs, well pumps, and water conditioning systems. Phone 814-665-6034. Online at flicksheatingplumbingandac.com.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by NISFA and the New York State Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to Frewsburg, New York, where the CSP Wolfpack trail the Bears 5-0 at the top of the fourth inning. And the Wolfpack have had a few chances to put some runs on the board, but haven't been able to capitalize. Meanwhile, Tate Katniss has tried pretty much everything in the cold to battle this Frewsburg offense and keep them off the board. And had it not been for 2 drop strike threes in the 3rd inning to get their offense started, and then a hit by pitch for Beckstrom that also helped them to advance their runners. And that's really been the story of things. A double from Hagelin in the 3rd, and put those things all together, and it's 5-0 Bears. Leading off for the Wolfpack here will be Phelps, number 5, our right fielder. And Brady is about to step in, ready to get this thing started. Gruber ready to pitch. There's the first one way outside. And Brady Phelps is the left fielder today. He takes a big cut at that one and misses. And the count goes to 1-1. Gruber's pitch right down Main Street, and the count goes to 1-2. Brady Phelps now behind 1-2 in this count. There's Gruber's pitch. It's outside. Phelps swings and misses. Strike out for Brady, and that'll bring up McCaleb Anderson. Anderson playing right field today for the Pack. Here's Gruber's pitch outside. Anderson will take it. Count goes to 1-0. Second pitch also outside. And the count goes to 2-0. Gruber moving fast. That one's inside, jams him up, and he takes a big cut at it. 2-1 count now. Gruber's pitch inside. Anderson jumps backwards. And the count goes to 3-1. Gruber wasting no time, coming set. Here comes the pitch. Again inside. Anderson fouls this one off to load the count up. Gruber comes set. Here's the pitch. And fouled off again by Anderson. He'll keep the count at a full count. And we will run that one back. Gruber ready, the umpire not, so he'll have to wait for the umpire to get back in position. And there's Gruber's pitch right down the middle, and that'll be a strikeout looking for McCaleb Anderson. That brings up Johnny Abers. 2 strikeouts so far here in the 4th for Gruber. And Johnny Abers stepping in. Sophomore takes a big cut, and he comes up empty on that one, strike 1. Abers gets a piece of that one to left, or to the shortstop. Shortstop fields it. It's going to be close, and he pulls the first baseman off the bag, but he's able to hold the toe, and Johnny Abers is out at first. And that will be the end of the CSP side of the 4th. Here's a word from our sponsors.
Coverage of CSP Wolfpack Baseball is brought to you in part by Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services in Clymer, a leading provider of new heat-treated and recycled pallets and wood services since 1993. Find them online at caflischpallet.com. Phone 716-355-4354. Caflisch Pallet and Wood Services wishes the Wolfpack the best of luck this season.
Support for Wolfpack Baseball on the Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Mosher's Carpeting at 8631 East Main Street in Clymer. Mosher's has carpeting and all types of flooring, serving the area for over 27 years. Online at mosherscarpeting.com.
Support for coverage of CSP Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided by Triple E Manufacturing in Sherman. Triple E offers equine products, promotional items, embroidery, and printing services. 800-295-4282 or online at tripleemanufacturing.com.
Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is provided in part by Necker's Company General Store, providing Clymer with groceries, apparel, gift items, and so much more for over 100 years. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Necker's Company General Store for their support.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
We'll get ready to start the bottom of the fourth here in Frewsburg. A 5-0 Bears lead. Tate Catney's still on the mound for the Wolfpack. And batting for Frewsburg will be Weaver, the left fielder. So, first pitch comes right back at me. Fouled off. Hopefully got a pretty good video on that one with the iPad, so hopefully that one came right at you guys as well. 0-1. Cadney's winds and fires. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2 count for Weaver. He gets a piece of it over to third base, fielded cleanly there. The throw is in time, and Hinsdale holds on. And so the ground out for Weaver gets this inning going. That'll bring up Hagelin. I know the wind's strong in the microphone right now. It is gusting from left field down towards home plate. And there's not much I can do to protect the mic from it, so apologies to you all for that. A little bit of wind sound. Catney's first pitch. Going to get a strike call. It was a little high, but he must have just caught the top of the zone. So now it'll go 0-1 on Hagelin. Catney's fires. This one's way inside, and Hagelin's brushed back. Count goes to 1-1. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. The 1-1 pitch is inside, and it'll go to 2-1. I mentioned earlier there was a pretty nice crowd for this early season game. That crowd has diminished as it's gotten colder and colder as we've gone through each inning. There's the pitch from Catney. Is up high in the sky by Hagelin to the right side. Way foul. Hinsdale chases it to the fence, but he can't get to it before it goes out of play. Bryce chased that thing all the way to the fence and was up in the air, reaching over the fence, but the thing was probably 4 feet past the fence on the other side. So 1-2 count for Hagelin here with one out in the bottom of the fourth. 5-0 Frewsburg. Catney's winds and fires. That one's played right past third base, past the shortstop into left field, and looks like Hagelin will be aboard with a base hit here to lead off. Oh, I guess he's the second batter here in the bottom of the fourth. That'll bring up Ekman, the catcher. One out, one on for Ekman. And time called. Ekman steps out. He now steps back in, and we're ready to go again. Pitch catches the inside corner. Strike one. Gruber not taking a very big lead at first, so nothing to contend with there for Catney's. His 0-1 pitch. Low and outside, gets away from Max White, and the runner Gruber will make it to second. White chases that ball down and gets it back to Katniss with no more damage done. So runner now on second, a 1-1 count with one out here in the bottom of the fourth, 5-0 Frewsburg. There's the pitch, and just missed the outside corner. And that'll be ball two. 2-1 count. Ackman back in the box. Gruber, very small lead off second. And Tate's going to check him anyway. Ackman gets back in plenty of time, and Tate didn't even risk the throw. He's back on the bump now, and Ackman back in the box. Tate comes set. There's the pitch. Low and outside. I'll miss for a ball. And the count goes to 3-1. So Tate showed really good control against Weaver and pretty good control against Hagelin. Now he's behind 3-1. Let's see if he can reel it back in here against Ackman. He again checks Gruber at second. And Gruber's not really, or sorry, Hagelin at second, not Gruber. Hagelin's not much of a runner, I don't believe. He doesn't strike me. He's not getting a huge lead. So there's the pitch from Katniss high, and he'll walk Ackman. That'll bring up shortstop Sheasley. And the Wolfpack will have a conference on the mound to talk about it. And once again, I want to say apologies to everyone for the slow start today. We had some technical difficulties here in the cold, and we're not able to get things started when we wanted to. And certainly kind of delayed the launch until about halfway through the second inning. Hopefully you were able to see the audio, or see the video. You just couldn't hear the audio. But we did get it all sorted out, and we'll be all sorted out for the next game as well against Maple Grove, assuming the weather cooperates. The Wolfpack going to make a change at pitcher here. It'll be Mason Groders coming in to pitch for the Wolfpack here in the bottom of the fourth with one out. And while Groders warms up, we'll take a word from our sponsor.
Utegg's Body Shop in Corry is helping to bring you this broadcast. Along with collision repair and refinishing, Utegg offers frame straightening services. Located at 633 East Smith Street in Corry. Utegg's Body Shop.
Man, I loved playing high school sports growing up. And it's fun being a fan now, don't get me wrong, but sitting in the stands feels like I'm missing out on all the action, you know? I wanted to get back in the game, so I signed up to be a high school official. It takes me back to my playing days. I'm supporting students, and I get paid to make the big calls. Do you want to see the game up close? Sign up to become an official in New York at highschoolofficials.com.
Support for coverage of CSP baseball action on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane sports stream comes from JH Napa Auto Parts. Your local Napa store stocks auto parts, tools and equipment, and other items for heavy-duty trucks, marine, and farming equipment. Located at 955 North Center Street in Corry and NapaOnline.com.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 sports stream broadcast.
And we welcome you back here to Frewsburg, where a pitching change has been made by the Wolfpack. Mason Groders, the new pitcher, as Tate Katney's day is done. 3.1 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts and 2 walks, and is responsible for 5 runs on the board and 2 runners on the field right now. Groders' first pitch high, and that'll be ball 1. So not a great stat line for Tate, but in this cold, you can't expect a whole lot more. That one's got a piece to shortstop, misfielded. Then they'll flip it over to second just in time for the out. One runner did advance to third, and a runner will be replaced at first, and another out added to the board. And that'll bring up Peterson, the center fielder. So Groders with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, trailing 5-0 and runners on the corners. He'll try to continue to battle out of this spot here against the center fielder, Peterson. Peterson, a senior for Frewsburg, now in the box, ready to go. Groders comes set. There's the first pitch, and they're going to try to make a play at second. They will not get it there in time. And now runners will be on second and third after the ball on the first pitch to Peterson. Groders ready to go here. Peterson gets a piece, fouls it back to me, and the count goes to 1-1. The lefty has 2 runners on as he steps back in the box here with a 1-1 count. Groders pitch. It's popped straight up to right center. Charging hard is the center fielder, but nobody's there for it. Burchanowski will come back and get it and wheel it into second, but a run scores. And another 2 runs scored for Frewsburg on that bloop single by Peterson. So the first one belongs to Tate Cadney's, the second one belongs to Mason Groders, and that brings up Gruber with a 7-0 lead and a runner on first. Groders checking the runner at first. That's Peterson, the center fielder. Groders pitches high. The throw down to first is not in time. One-0 pitch. Groders winds and fires, and it's popped up over my head. We go to 1-1. Mason's pitch high and inside. Count goes to 2-1. Groders checks the runner. He comes set. And now he'll throw over to first. And just behind the runner is the tag. Peterson back to first safely. A 2-1 count with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. 7-0 Frewsburg. Groders winds and fires, and it's fouled off deep to the right side. Almost got a car, as you heard the reaction from both dugouts as it just narrowly missed. They all were disappointed that it didn't get a car. 2-2 with 2 outs here in the 4th now. Pitch is high. They're going to try to make a throw down at second. The runner is in there safely. So Peterson steals second. Groders with a full count now to Gruber. Here's the pitch, and it's high. He'll walk Gruber. And Drake Beckstrom, the second baseman, will be up next for the Bears. Peterson on second, Gruber on first. 7-0 Frewsburg, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. And here's Beckstrom to face Groders. Groders' first pitch, fouled off to the right side. Mason trying to get out of the bottom of the 4th here. Trying to keep this thing moving. There's the pitch, outside, swung and missed. And the count will go to 0-2. Mason getting ahead early on Beckstrom here. Let's see what he can do with it. He comes set. There's the pitch. Beckstrom gets a big piece of one down the left field line, and it will go foul. Man, the wind really gusted as that thing got closer down the line. Nothing changes. Beckstrom back in the box down 0-2, and Groders will have another chance to take advantage of his early lead in this count. There's the pitch. Straight away shot towards center. Cadney's chasing it from shortstop. He can't get there. It falls in for a hit. It's going to score a run. And a single, a bloop single for Beckstrom, will score Peterson and advance Gruber to second. And that'll bring up Mazurko, number 3, the right fielder. Eight 0 Bears now. Mazurko steps in. Groders' first pitch catches the corner on the inside, strike one. Groders winds and fires. That one's ripped over the third baseman's head, a fair ball down the line. Runner's coming home. Ball is fielded, thrown into third base. They might have a play at third just behind the runner, and he is safe. That double will score one and advance another to third base. That'll bring up Riley Lacrosse, the third baseman. Mazurko's double adds on to that Frewsburg Bears lead. They're up 10-0 now in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch is outside from Mason Groders. Outside again, ball 2. Riley Lacrosse, freshman, third baseman. Back in the box now. He'll fall this one off straight back at me. Lacrosse, one of 3 travel ball players that are on this lineup that are freshmen that were pulled up this year for Frewsburg. Here's the pitch, just outside. That was the third ball. Lacrosse thought it was the fourth. He'll get his bat back, and we'll go at it again. 3-1 count. High pitch is ball 4. And Lacrosse will take first. Weaver will come back up. He started off the inning with a ground out to the third baseman. He'll get a second attempt here in the fourth. Weaver gets a piece to left field. That'll score at least one. Misfielded, but the runner didn't see it, and the ball is just going to bounce in on the third base line. Fielded there by Max White about halfway down. So a single from Weaver, and the Bears continue to extend. And quick conversation between Groders and White. The 2 freshmen trying to come up with a plan here to get out of this inning. Pitch is outside for ball 1 against Hagelin. Pitch is low on the second attempt, so it goes to 2-0 now. 2-0 with the bases loaded, 2 outs here in the fourth. 10-0 is the score. Pitch is outside, fouled off to the right side. And the count will go to 2-1. Wolfpack having a hard time getting out of the fourth, just like they had a hard time getting out of the third. The last 2 innings have been very difficult for them. There's the pitch from Groders. That one is grabbed a hold of, sent out to left center, over the center fielder's head. That's going to score at least 2, if not 3. He's easily into second. He's going to go for third. 3 runs will score, and he's in safely to third with a triple is Hagelin. So he clears the bases for the Bears and makes it 13-0. Ackman up next, the catcher. Here's the pitch. It's high for ball 1. The 11th batter of the inning. Low and outside for ball 2. Groders behind 2-0 or 2-0 now. That one's fouled straight back over my head. And the count will go to 2-1. Ekman ready to go. Groders ready to go. 2-1 count, 2 outs, 13-0 Bears here in the bottom of the fourth. And that one's driven straight to center. And everyone's charging towards it. And the catch is made there to end the inning. Finally, the Wolfpack get out of this one with a catch in center field by Burkholder. That'll end the pain here in the fourth, and we'll take a word from our sponsors.
Funding for this Channel 98.9 Sports Stream broadcast comes from Lictus Oil and Propane in Clymer. Family-owned, Lictus Oil and Propane continues to supply liquids and fluids for agriculture, industry, and homeowners. Heating oil and propane services and off-and-on diesel fuel services are also offered. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Lictus Oil and Propane for their continued support.
Financial support for this broadcast of CSP Baseball Play-by-Play on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Stone Audiology at 709 East Columbus Avenue in Corry. Also in Bradford, Northeast, and Kane, Pennsylvania. In Jamestown, Olean, Belmont, and Chaffee, New York. Phone 814-664-7070. Online at stoneaudiology.com.
CSP Wolfpack Baseball coverage on the Channel 98.9 Lictus Oil and Propane Sports Stream is brought to you in part by Troyer's Greenhouse, now open for the season Monday through Saturday. Troyer's Greenhouse is located at 1669 Weeks Road, just 2 miles west of Panama. Go Wolfpack from Troyer's Greenhouse.
Coverage of Wolfpack Baseball on the Channel 98.9 Sports Stream is provided in part by Whiteland Surveying in Clymer, providing land surveys for Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties in New York and Erie, Warren, and Crawford counties in Pennsylvania. Phone 716-499-8410. Find them online at mwhitepls.com. The Channel 98.9 Sports Stream thanks Whiteland Surveying for their support.
And we welcome you back in here to Frewsburg, New York, where it's turned very cold. And unfortunately, so have the fortunes of the Wolfpack as they trail 13-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. Current weather is 43 degrees, feels like 27. And they're expecting some rain to be coming very soon. And if the rain does come, the feed may have to end depending on how that goes. We are not set up for a rain game today, so you may lose the feed if the rain comes. Gruber's first pitch swung on and missed. Gavin Berchanowski, the batter for the Wolfpack. Gruber's pitch is outside. It's 1-1. Berchanowski had solid contact in the first inning, drove one straight to center field. He gets a piece of that one over to third base. He's going to have to try to leg it out. The throw is a